Thanks.
What were some of the first lessons you learned doing a daily podcast that still hold true today?
Well, it operates differently than something that's just a radio show, because I think one of the things you're trying to do with a radio show is you know that a lot of people are just tuning in at that very moment, so you have to make sure that you're resetting a lot and that you're not talking about something you talked about 2 weeks previous, because there's almost no chance they were there listening for that thing. And so you have to keep things, I think, really accessible a lot of the time. And with a podcast that has just this little group of people who listen day in and day out, you can really have these plot lines. We'll do the kind of thing where we'll have a guest on and the interview will go terribly, and then we'll talk for 2 days about how bad the interview was. And people know what we're talking about. They follow the threads. And then what'll happen too is they'll email in and they'll say, oh, you know what? I took a picture with that guy. Like, we had this comedian on, Patton Oswalt, and we really like him, but he was kind of on our show. And then we had people who would go and like take pictures photobombing him or like doing something to him. And then they'd send us the pictures, and then we put the pictures on the website, and then we'd call them up and talk to them about it, the people. So it's this stuff starts to feed into itself and create a lot of the content. A ton of the content we have is from the listeners. I don't know if you could do that with a radio show that's trying to reach, hundreds of thousands of people, but it certainly works in the podcast world.